Let us leave the confines of ego and wander in the vast fields of soul progress. As time is marching on, so must your souls march on to a greater expansion of your life and spirit. The initiative to undertake your most important duty in life is often hurried beneath the accumulated debris of human habits. You must free yourself from their stultifying influence and start to sow the seeds of the success that you desire. Life is worthwhile when you are accomplishing the most essential work, which is to find out the meaning and true values of your existence. Man should be instructed by this cosmic motion picture of life. It is not being shown without a reason. Each day we behold different scenes, and each day has a lesson to teach. You are meant to learn the lesson by concentrating on the supreme purpose of human existence, to know who is behind your life. Without self-analysis, man leads robot-like life. Millions of people never analyze themselves. Mentally, they are mechanical products of the factory of their environment, preoccupied with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, working and sleeping, and going here and there to be entertained. They don't know what or why they are seeking, nor why they never realize complete happiness and lasting satisfaction. By evading self-analysis, people go on being robots, conditioned by their environment. True self-analysis is the greatest art of progress. Everyone should learn to analyze himself dispassionately. Write down your thoughts and aspirations daily. Find out what you are, not what you imagine you are, because you want to make yourself what you ought to be. Most people don't change because they don't see their own faults. Everyone is the product of his heredity and environment. If you were born in America, you reflect distinctive American characteristics. If you were born in China or England, you are likely to reflect the interests of those nationalities. Your environment is the result of your true heredity, the traits and desires acquired by you in past lives. This heredity of past incarnations has led to your being born in the particular family and environment in which you now find yourself. When we read about the families of important people, we often note that sons of great men are not necessarily of the same mental caliber as their fathers. This failure of biological heredity in man raises a great doubt in our minds. Why don't we find the same results in human life that we observe in the plant and animal kingdoms, where good pedigree usually produces good offspring? We must probe the inner life of man for an answer. Traits from past lives influence us now. In a literary family, it is not unusual to find a boy who doesn't like literature at all. He has been brought up with literature-loving companions, yet has no affinity for it. Why? Environment or heredity in the ordinary sense does not explain it, but beyond these factors is reincarnation. We are born into a particular family because of certain characteristics that are similar. But every person in a family is an individual soul who brings his own distinctive traits from his past lives. Hence, there are always some biological hereditary resemblances in families, yet each person is different in character. A man takes birth in a certain family, a particular social and national environment, owing to specific causes, his own past actions. Therefore, man is the architect of his own destiny. One can almost predict what he will be in his next life by analyzing his dominant interests and habits in this one. Whatever you have done, you can undo. So self-analysis is important for the progress of the soul. Let us suppose that tragedies have been your favorite reading for many years, and that you naturally feel you will continue to enjoy them for the rest of your life. But if you analyze yourself and see that you are becoming morose from constant reading of this type of literature, you will wish to form a new habit of perusing inspiring spiritual books. By doing so, you will change the course of your life. We can alter ourselves very quickly with strong determination, but without it, one does not change effortlessly or in a minute the habit patterns of years. To eradicate a habit of long standing, you must apply the full strength of your determination in counteractivity until the bad habit is worn out. Most persons don't have the necessary patience, but everyone should feel encouraged by this truth. Whatever you have created or done, you can undo. When you analyze what you are, Have a firm desire to banish your weaknesses and to make yourself what you ought to be. Don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed with discouragement at the revelation of your shortcomings that honest self-analysis usually brings. Thought produces everything in the universe. A theory has been advanced that thought is a product of the endocrine glands. Such a conception is unfounded. Flesh cannot produce thought. Mind is the architect of the microcosm and the macrocosm. As water by cooling and condensation becomes ice, so thought by condensation assumes physical form. Everything in the universe is thought in material form. The endocrine organ is just a physical structurization of a microcosmic thought blueprint. The physical and mental aspects of man are closely interrelated. It is commonly observed that a person whose liver is out of order becomes cranky. When you are bilious, you don't feel like smiling and saying peace to everyone. You feel unamiable. Your thoughts and emotions are affected by your physical state. A weakening of the organs has a corresponding weakening effect on mental power. Those who eat a great deal of meat are often surly and full of vexation. If I were to put you on a grape juice diet for a week, it is likely you would feel uplifted and harmoniously disposed toward all. I recently met a man who was wearing just a lightweight suit and no overcoat, although it was terribly cold. He said he was 70 years old and that he never feels cold. He didn't even wear socks. He had accustomed his body to chilly weather. Mind influences body more than vice versa, but the bodily chemicals do exercise a constant influence on the mind. Body and mind are interdependent. Dreams reveal the omnipotence of mind. For example, suppose I am dreaming that I am awake and in the kitchen and very hungry. I eat something and drink a glass of milk. My hunger and thirst are gone, and I feel satisfied. What was the cause of my satisfaction? Was it the food? Remember, I am dreaming. Is it not simply a change of thought that made me feel satisfied? Since I am dreaming, it is my mind that thought it had taken food. The hunger and the food and the milk were only ideas in my dream. All were made of the same mind stuff. When I wake up, I realize that my experiences were nothing but a series of ideas. A mere change of thought removed the unpleasant sensation of hunger and substituted the pleasant sensation of eating food and drinking milk. So you see, thought by itself can do anything. Once I was traveling by train when the weather was extremely hot. The air felt as if it were coming from a furnace. Everyone around me was suffering, but I was smiling within because my mind was dissociated from the thought of the heat. I had said to myself, Lord, the same electricity that makes heat in a furnace makes ice in a refrigerator. Therefore, why shouldn't I be able to redirect that electricity of yours to produce cold right now? In that instant, I felt as if a sheet of ice had enveloped me. Change your mental attitude. We should bear in mind, however, that it is not wise to disregard the body wholly. One should eat proper foods in preference to wrong foods. And if you must live with people who make you nervous, then once in a while you should change your surroundings. But it is better still if you can change your mental environment so that you won't be disturbed by others' actions. Change yourself, and you can then live anywhere in peace and happiness. Most of the world is like a mental hospital. Some people are sick with jealousy, others with anger, hatred, passion. They are victims of their habits and emotions. But you can make your home a place of peace. Analyze yourself. All emotions are reflected in the body and mind. Envy and fear cause the face to pale, and love makes it glow. Learn to be calm, and you will always be happy. So remember, whatever type of ego you have, whatever personality you are trying to express, you should make an effort to analyze your true nature and to develop its best qualities. One may have a moral ego, or a patriotic ego, or an artistic ego, or a businessman's ego, and so on. If morality is your ideal, live uprightly and express your goodwill to all. That is real morality. It is pride that makes self-righteous persons so ready to judge those about them who are weak. True morality includes compassion for others in their ignorant wrongdoings. Those who are products of the material ego suffer much and needlessly. Such persons should learn self-control. Otherwise, they are just like pieces of matter in action. They have to smoke so many times a day. They must eat certain foods. They always get a headache if they miss their lunch. They can sleep only in a particular kind of bed. It is all right to utilize creature comforts, but never be enslaved by them. If you are a cross between an intellectual and a materialistic ego, that is better. But unless you develop and maintain a balanced nature intellectually, materially, and spiritually, you are not going to be happy. Your spiritual intuition tells you how to control your life so that you are not mastered by it. It is unwise to let the materialistic ego govern your judgment. Your conscience and intuition should decide. The conditions of happiness, plain living, high thinking. Plain living and high thinking should be your goal. Learn to carry all the conditions of happiness within yourself by meditating and attuning your consciousness to the ever-existing, ever-conscious, ever-new joy, which is God. Your happiness should never be subject to any outside influence. Whatever your environment is, don't allow your inner peace to be touched by it. Analyze yourself. Make yourself what you should be and what you want to be. People seldom learn true self-control. They do things that are detrimental to their highest welfare and think they are making themselves happy, but they are not. To be able to do things when and because you ought to do them, and to refrain from doing what you know is injurious, these are keys to real success and happiness. Don't keep your mind engaged in too many activities. Analyze what you get from them and see if they are really important. Don't waste your time. To read a good book improves you much more than seeing movies. I often say, if you read for 1 hour, write in your spiritual diary for 2 hours. And if you write for 2 hours, think for 3 hours. And if you think for 3 hours, meditate all the time. No matter where I go, I keep my mind continuously on my soul peace. You too should always point the needle of your attention toward the North Pole of spiritual joy. Then no one can ever disturb your equilibrium. Remember, if each day does not find you a better person than you were the day before, you are going backward in health, in mental peace, and in soul joy. Why? Because you don't exercise enough control over your actions. You yourself made your habits, and you can change them. If you have been thinking wrongly, make up your mind to be with good company and to study and meditate. A change of company can make a great difference to you. When you come here, even for these few hours, your mentality changes. You feel a refreshing peace. When you go to a dance or a party, your mind is often restless, nervous, and excited. Afterward, if you enter a different, calmer atmosphere, you feel more peaceful again. The greatest influence in your life, stronger even than your willpower, is your environment. Change that if necessary. Until you are mentally strong, you can never be what you want to be without a good environment to help you. When you are having difficulty in trying to change for the better, spiritual company and other uplifting influences are essential. Self-analysis is also essential to help you better yourself. If you can analyze yourself fearlessly, you will be able to stand the critical analysis of others without flinching. Those who like to dwell on the faults of others are human vultures. There's already too much evil in the world. Don't talk of evil, don't think of evil, and don't do evil. Be like a rose, wafting to all the sweet fragrance of soul goodness. Make everyone feel that you are a friend, that you are a helper, not a destroyer. If you want to be good, analyze yourself and develop the virtues in you. Banish the thought that evil has any part in your nature, and it will drop off. Make everyone else feel that you are an image of God, not by your words, but by your behavior. Emphasize the light, and darkness will be no more. Study, meditate, and do good to others. Seclusion is the price of greatness. Seclusion is the price of greatness. Be alone within. Don't lead the aimless life that so many persons follow. Meditate and read good books more. There are so many inspiring things to know, and yet man spends his time foolishly. Happiness will never come if you don't concentrate and act on the wisdom of great men. Their thoughts are there to help you in the scriptures and other truthful books. So don't waste time constantly seeking new excitement. Once in a while, it is all right to go to the movies and have a little social life, but mostly remain apart and live within yourself. Happiness depends on meditation, on knowing great minds through their thoughts in books, and on surrounding yourself with people who are noble and kind. Enjoy solitude, but when you want to mix with others, do so with all your love and friendship, so that those persons cannot forget you. But remember always that they met someone who inspired them and turned their minds toward God.